Hi everybody and welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to be showing you how I deal with a picture that is really realistic, and in particular I'm going to show you ways that are going to allow you to be able to paint in a realistic way without being overcome by all the details that are going to be required. Now the first place to start with any painting is always on the computer. So this video is sponsored by MSI. Now, if you're going to be painting a realistic scene, you need to have good reference photograph, and really you need to have a good monitor and a good computer to deal with all the rendering and everything involved. So this particular computer is the MSI P100X 11th, and it comes with Intel Core's i9 11900K processor. Not only does it look $1 million, but it handles all of the rendering and multitasking that I require it to do. Good computer. As an artist, the most important thing for me is colour accuracy. And this monitor has the MSI Nano IPS technology, which creates a more accurate colour and a broader contrast ratio. So if you're interested in this monitor or this computer or any of the products from MSI, then please check out the description below. Just one more thing. If you want to be able to view and edit your painting reference photos on a monitor like the one I use, I've got great news for you. I've got great news. MSI are running a competition where you can do just that, as they are giving away this monitor as a prize. So, to be in for a chance to win, everything you need to know to take part is in the competition link in the description below. A winner is chosen at random on the 12th of July. So good luck for those of you that take part. So that is the picture blocked in. That's totally dry now. We're going to start working on that. One of the problems that I've found in the past, and that I suspect most of you will have, is when you have a picture that is this detailed, you tend to become overwhelmed with the amount of detail that is there. But actually there's a simple way really to deal with that, and that is just to do one little part at a time. And something that I've done in the past is to section the reference photograph and just work on one little aspect, because that way you're not overwhelmed, I should say, with the rest of the detail in the painting, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So of course here we have the painting and the reference photograph. The reference photograph has been printed out the same size as the painting in this instance, and all we're going to do is take our photograph. We're going to choose what bit we're going to start working on. So what we have, and obviously you don't need to cut this out, but I'm just doing this to show you. I'm just going to take one portion of that larger painting. So I've stuck that right next to the area we're going to be working on, and now I'm not distracted by everything else that is going on, all the other areas of detail. I'm just going to focus on one bit. Now one of the things you can do is you can make, depending upon your photograph, you could make this much smaller. In the past I've had 1 inch square cutouts, and then I've just worked on that and then worked on the next bit. You'll just find that you'll be able to get much more detail without, as I say, being overwhelmed. So I'm going to get started on that now, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm going to show you the process. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is start adding some of these darker tones in here. We can see, for example, I'm using a small brush. This is the Series 2. This is actually the size 1. And I'm just going to, I've mixed up the right colour, and using the very point of that small brush, I'm just going to start adding the little tones and textures that we can see. So we've got little trees right at the top there. So it's just a case of working, I mean, especially if you're looking for very detailed work, if you want your painting to be as accurate as possible, then this is really what you need to do. And it doesn't matter if you're working on a larger scale. So for example, if I was painting this precisely the same scene on a much bigger canvas or bigger panel, the brush strokes would still be the same. Nothing really changes in that respect. And then we have lots of little areas of basically shadow. The rock is a lighter grey colour, and we're just now putting in areas of shadow in there. Once again, continuing with the small brush. As we move to these trees here, the technique becomes a little bit different. I mean, to begin with, what I'm going to do is get the tree trunks in roughly the right place, and then we're going to go ahead and add some of those darker tones before then moving on to the lights. But we're going to do the darker bits first. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move over to a different brush. So going to the tree and texture brush, and I'm going to start to get the darker texture in here first of all. Okay, so that's we've sort of got the darks correct. What we're going to now do is add the tops of the trees here, and then we can go ahead adding some of the lower tree trunks and of course the highlights. Right, so now we're ready to add some of those lighter tones. So just going in with a lighter green, same brush, and now just starting to highlight some of these little areas. So what we're doing here now, and this is a good technique, it saves you an awful lot of time, is using the corner of a fan brush. Now this is the Series 4 size 1, available from my website, shopmichaeljamessmith.com. What this allows you to do is get a lot of small brush marks, but with very little effort. Whereas with the brush that we've been using, you can get just a small brush mark, but you're doing one brush mark at a time. Whereas with this, you can do them in groups. The only problem is, with this brush, you can't be as accurate as to where those brush marks go. So really, you can't use this in sort of necessarily in place of the Series 2, but really it's something that you'd use as well as. Thanks again for spending a little bit of time with me today. It was really nice to see you all. I'd just like to thank MSI one more time. They do some amazing products. I've been using their computers for a long time. So check out the link in the description and go to their website and see what they do. Well, that's everything then. I suppose I'm going to go and maybe have a cup of tea. See you later.